trading. So now what I want to do is I want to go through at swing portfolio briefly. So this is my tactical list of symbols in TC2000. So I'm going to go instead to a personal list. Now each of these little portfolios are different sets of symbols. Like I have one just with the Dow sectors, some Forex pairs. I've been studying infrastructure companies about rebuilding America and all that. Some favorites, the S&P 100, things where I'm just doing research on a symbol. So I'm going to go to the swing portfolio. And these are the ones that I've been managing, the last couple months. So I'm going to go, since I'm swinging these on 30-minute bars, I want to just take a look at, so this is clean energy. And we had been short this thing for a while. This one was this was a long effort that scratched and then stop and reverse, and a second position and a third position covered, and then that was a stop and reverse. And as you can see, the swing stop never got hit. Now this thing has moved out. There was like a COTA 2 and a COTA 2, and this thing is still really going well. So where I want to be on my stop is probably, I think I want to lock in that whole piece at like 42. So I want to lock in that gain on that much risk. What I like to do is get a swing trade started early intraday and then just leave that in place while it goes through its normal intraday movements, and then once it makes a clear run, then and only then start locking in pieces. Otherwise, this is just a pure day trade, but this is intended as a swing trade starting from the 30-minute bars, then let it grow for a while in my favor before adjusting. So give it time to grow. This is IWR, so this is the one where you just saw I got a little extra piece on the intraday move. That's the intraday move from today that you saw the intraday piece. So this had a couple scratches. This one I was late getting out of for a micro win, but it keeps holding that support level, so I just put the COTA 2 on it. That thing's really worked well. So now I've moved my stop up to this level under the one-day low, and I feel good about having locked in that. And I will just continue to hit the intraday piece on IWR because this one feels like the market itself went out of bear market into sideways normal, and this is one where it feels like the U.S. residential real estate is doing pretty well. This is Brazil. So that was this was a quick scratch and then a stop and reverse that paid off. When it came back and held support in here, that would have been the SSC. This was the earliest I could get into the COTA 2 because this was a gap up. So I took the entry on the 30-minute and then just came way down here and accepted that as my risk box. This thing has moved 1, 2, 3 legs up. It's now cleared this, so now this feels like this could really go. So I'm going to move my stop up, I think, like underneath this and just lock in that piece. And if this works tomorrow, if this keeps going, I'll add a second position on a swing using the money made from here to fund that next position. Cliff Natural Resources, I swing that a lot. The most recent one was 5 days ago, and this thing had a number of COTA 2 type raises. It had cleared the emerging dragon, so that one felt safe. Again, I give it this, I leave that stop in place give it some time to grow. This thing is going. I'm going to move my stop to here, and then I'll add a second position if it keeps going tomorrow. Mexico, just massive goodness. This is where that weekend report helps. We identified Mexico, Brazil, and Latin America as being in a position of finding strength. So I've had a couple. I had a win on the long side, a win on the short side. This one turned out to be a scratch. I'd gotten 2 positions in quick and then was slow to exit, so that one pretty much scratched out. Then I got a COTA 2 entry here. That thing worked. When it cleared the peak, I added a second position intraday, and that just worked. And now this is free and clear. And today I had my stop here, and today's move was like to this, so I'm moving my stop right up to 55. And this is one that I'll add another position to if it continues that way tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, if this thing goes up and then starts to fail, I will exit all 3 positions and just scratch it, because that is really a pretty nice move in Brazil from, let's call it 50 to 56. That's a 12% move in a matter of about 7 days. So I want to respect that gift and make sure that I've locked it in. Treasuries, we had a short from here, and then covered around 100. If it was going to fail below 100, it should have failed. It didn't. So we got that one in. Nice, reasonable stop. This thing has grown. Where I'm looking for 110 to the upside. This has already had that first significant sell-off and then recovered today. So now we're on that second leg up. And I feel like I need to be right here with my stop tomorrow to lock in that gain, about 4% in treasuries. If it breaks above, say, 106, and if the S&P is down, but treasuries continue to go up and breaks 106, then I'll put a second position on when it breaks above the 10-day high, with the idea that it could go to 110. Devon Energy, energy just swings really nicely. So here was a COTA 2 in cash. This was a long entry on a COTA 2, which failed for -1R. And then this was I missed the stop and reverse. Then here was a COTA 2 entry on the 5th of January. Standard stop. This thing has made 1, 2, 3, 4. It's trying, but it's still making peaks and selling off. So I'm getting a little concerned. This is getting long in the tooth. So I'm going to move my stop, I think, right up here to about 62.50, just so that I can lock in that gain. If it gets above 64, I would look at a second position. And then finally, U.S. Steel. This long failed. That was a stop and reverse, which paid off. A scratch. I gave it some time. A bunch of COTA 2s. Probably should have hit it here, but I wanted to see it break above this. Friday's move was to here, and that moved our stop to here. And now it's held, but it couldn't break out to a new high. So I'm going to move my stop tomorrow to about 27.30 and give it, because I want to lock in this gain. And I could see that if it gets above 27.75 to add a second position rather than waiting for the 10-day breakout, because that's the anomaly. This is really the peak. So I'm going to respect that stop and then look to tactically trade that intraday because metals move so nicely. All right, so those are the just a handful of swing trades of things that move nicely on 30-minute bars. They give me some real choices, and that's where I am on that.